night tonight. And upstairs, and I hear the
It's crazy, the thunder and lightning up there. Good thing we're down in the dark.
All right, we're back in black. Alan Bernhoft, his cult movie, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde rock and roll musical, getting lots of attention, and I tell you, we friggin' love it.
I know, yes we do.
Love it.
Yes, we do. Alan has also scored the film, as well as producing it.
Right.
He also has a bunch of really trippy CDs, and you're going to hear some in just a minute. But first, as promised, we're going to give away some DVD copies of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde rock and roll musical.
Yeah, you people are going to love this. We'll take the first 2 emails, just put contest on the subject line, and mail it to rocksolidpressure@yahoo.com. That's rocksolidpressure@yahoo.com.
Do it now.
The first 2 emails will get... Bang.
Do it now.
Do it
First
now.
2 emails, rocksolidpressure@yahoo.com. But we're going to get a bit freaky right now with some of Alan's music, and we'll be back with the man himself. We better go cut him down, Jay. We don't want a David Carradine situation.
Hi, this is Eric Book of Blue Oyster Cult. You're listening to J-Rock and Patty the Radio Girl.
All right. Man, Somewhere in the Dungeon, it's turned into like the Summer of Love.
That was some really psychedelic stuff.
I tell you, man. And no, it wasn't Sid Barrett. It all came from the mind of Alan Bernhoft. We just turned you on to 10,000 Tiny Striped Virgin Angels, Mr. Turtle, Mother Television, and an exclusive non-release track from the movie Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde rock and roll musical. And that was called King of the Night. That was
great stuff. And we have the guy behind all this madness right here. He's unchained. I know he can breathe now. Mr. Alan Bernhoft. Hey, Alan, welcome to our reality.
Chains off. Those were getting a little bit tight.
Yeah.
I like them when I get you all tight. Yes, but I'm glad you survived. You still can walk, and that's good. We're so happy to have you on the show tonight.
It's so great to be had.
Cool. Excellent. Now, Alan, before we get into the trippy music, let's talk about the movie. What gave you the idea to make Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde a rock musical?
Well, I'm a rock and roller. I'm a musician.
Yes.
And when I got to L.A. with my band, I was playing around the clubs and everything, and I started kind of getting into acting and going to some acting stuff, and doing pretty well at that. And I never liked musicals, and I always thought that musicals should be cool and should have cool rock and roll stuff, which they're just now starting to do.
Right.
I always thought of musicals as kind of dorky Broadway stuff, and didn't like them.
Right.
And I thought of the idea of doing an independent film with like a series of music videos where every song goes off into its own thing.
Right.
You know? And then just connect them with some scenes, short little scenes, and tell a story that way, a whole different way of telling a story on film. And fortunately, I ran into Andre Champagne, the director, who just thought it was the greatest idea in the world, and this is what I always wanted to do myself, so let's make it happen. And he helped to make it happen along with my partner, Bob Racucci, who wrote the screenplay with me, who's also in the film.
It was so well done, and there's tons of great press on this movie, and most notably from our good friend Paul Williams. How did you hook up? How did you hook up with Paul? He's great. How did you meet him? How'd you hook up with him?
He's one of my biggest heroes, and let's see. I'll make the story short. I was taking a music business course out here, taught by Mark Volman of the Turtles and Zappa,
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Flo and Eddie, that guy.
Yeah,
right.
He was teaching this incredible music business course out here, and Paul Williams was a guest one night. And my buddy Hal Blaine, the world's greatest drummer, who also appears in the movie,
love him.
The Wino, Hal always told me, if you ever run into anybody that I've played on their hit records, and you want a foot in the door, tell them I said hi to open the conversation. And I was so excited to meet Paul Williams. After the class, I was walking back through the parking lot with him and just said, hey, Hal Blaine said hi. And he goes, oh, how's Hal doing? And we started a conversation and became friends, and I've known him quite a few years, and he's just a really down-to-earth, nice guy.
That's the truth.
Like Hal and other people like that I've met, you forget when you're talking to them their amazing accomplishments.
You forget the genius behind the man.
Yeah, it's true. Without Paul Williams, we wouldn't have black rubber suits for the industrial rockers. Since
from the brilliant Phantom of the Paradise movie.
We were talking about that the other day. I said, dude, that band in Phantom of Paradise is still ahead of its time.
Yeah,
you're not kidding.
In that one section,
right?
You know, it's crazy.
And we have to.
And his performance in that movie is amazing.
Oh,
and you know, the other thing that I loved him just completely on the opposite side of the charts is Ishtar. He wrote all the songs for Ishtar.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
yes.
Which are just weird, crazy songs. He had to purposely write bad songs for Dustin Hoffman to sing.
Yeah,
right. It's so hard to do when you're brilliant.
You know, Alan, any number of like 60s or 70s cheesy B flicks, it'll always come up in the title, song written by Paul Williams.
You're not kidding.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
He like wrote everything, man. You know, and it's like he even wrote like all the hits for like the Carpenters and Three Dog Night. I mean, the guy's a genius. And you know, I had the pleasure of actually jamming an industrial version of Old Fashioned Love Song, heavy industrial rock, with him on the other line on the phone and me here in the and me here in the studio, and we jammed it together and sung it together, and it was and he like wanted to release it. it was just so
great.
Cool.
And you know, Paul was our very first guest on the Rock Solid Pressure Show way back when.
Yeah,
we'll never forget that.
Of all the monsters of metal and hard rock that we've had, our very first guest was friggin' Paul Williams. And after that, we would go like to the Songwriters Hall of Fame in New York City with him like every year for like at least 3-4 years, and now we're down, you know, so he became kind of like a friend. But what a great legend.
And I'm really proud that he gave you full endorsement.
He's an awesome guy, and I got to tell you, the first thing I did was the soundtrack before I started working on the movie.
Okay.
And I sent the soundtrack to him, and he called and left a message, and it was just awesome. And he said, one of the greatest compliments of my life, he said, Harry Nilsson would have loved you. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
I recorded that message and loved it forever. And then eventually when I finished the movie, he was one of the first people to get a copy. And so that quote on the cover of the movie is his call when he first saw the film.
And I love it. And so, Hal Blaine gives a lengthy interview too.
Yeah, I love the Hal Blaine interview.
Just
you know,
super.
I knew the guy like jammed with everybody.